You know, all these last minute wire prep probably isn't the best, but we'll get them all squared away. Hey there, this is Wired by Greg. Welcome to the shop. And of course, we've got Ollie's Jeep here. Final for the Baja Designs install. He started it. We're gonna go ahead and get into it today. For today's install, sPOD got us a pair of Bantams. These things are pretty trick. Let's see, we got an HD panel here. Another HD panel, but Ollie also has a touch panel in there, so we might make that work. We're gonna do some cool stuff. Basically, the vehicle runs currently on a pair of SEs. That's the old source. We're gonna go and upgrade it to the twin Bantams. Ollie's got a ton of lights on this thing already. LP6 is on the front bumper. He's prepped the headlights for their SAE compliant, but right now we have the pros in there. LP4s, he's got the Linkable. There's S1s all around the rack. I believe there's an RTLS in the back here with another pair of S1s. He'll probably be here, I'm gonna say, a couple hours on the rack, a couple hours on the front, a couple hours on the sPODs, but we'll kind of do a step-by-step as we go through the day on some parts that we're upgrading or installing. We'll have fun, it'll be a great day. We are getting to the wiring section of the Jeep. My game plan is basically we're gonna take these S1s. We've got 3 on each side of the rig. We're gonna go ahead and make a harness that goes from that unit to this unit to this unit. Daisy chain all those together, run a single wire up and over the rack and come to this corner. And then we're gonna take those 3, back corner, side and side, same thing. We're gonna bring a harness up to here. And then we're gonna run all of our wires down the pillar. We also have the linkable lights that we're gonna be putting into that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and link the 2 sides together on a 4-wire and a 2-wire. We're gonna bring them back over to here. And we're gonna end up putting a Deutsch connector to link them together. Eventually he's gonna put the roof back on this. So we wanna make sure we get the pass through and everything's wired in. And it'll come down here underneath the rear storage system. We'll pull that apart and we'll wire it into the taillights. So we want to make sure the RTLS has brake, running, reverse, and blinkers. I know last time it was a chore, but we made it happen. So that's the game plan, and we'll see if we can make it happen. Good. Now we're gonna do better. You guys want to stop and have a floor meet?
Well, what is it, like 8 hours later since we started?
Yeah. 10. So,
dude, thank you so much.
No problem. Turned out great.
Everything's freaking wired up. Can't wait to show everybody, like, you know, what we've done. We're not totally finished, but everything works at this point, right?
Correct. Everything has a function. We don't have all the functions on, but it's going to get you home in the dark, be able to high beam someone. You'll have blinkers.
These are actually our high beams now.
We have the high beam capability of this, just we ran out of switches.
Well, we've kind of pre-wired this because we know we're getting the SAEs in here. So once those SAEs are in, then we're pretty much dialed. For now, we're using the low beam function, lowered down, hopefully not blinding too many Priuses out there. And you know, why don't you walk us through kind of what we've done, what's changed? You guys did a massive amount of cleanup as well, really appreciate it. Any wires that you see that are messed up is my fault.
Welcome to the fast, fun having faster fun, AKA Kate. So yeah, we still have a little bit of wire management to do up here, but for the most part, we got the twin SEs out of here, installed the new Bantam X's, filled up all 16 switches. Instead of doing the HD panels on these, we went ahead and kept the touchscreen. The system worked really well inside, and as far as having the swipe feature to see all your functions, that's like an A+. So we just repurposed the sPOD bracket that we had in there. That may not stay, but that's what we got for right now. Like I said, all functions are full on that thing. The cool thing is we were able to get DRL backlighting to the LP6s on those brackets, and everything just looks great. But we're running low beam to the LP6 with backlight. The high beam function is actually coming out of these. These have high beam and low beam with DRL. We have an insanely bright blinker for you. That's a Squadron Pros. Probably wouldn't recommend that on every build, but for something like this, you gotta stand out from the crowd. So we got the Squadron Pros, or Squadron Sports, wired into factory blinkers. Did a ton of cleanup on the front end, but the cool thing is we were able to add the Knuckle lights in. So we got S1s down on the knuckles. All the harnesses run in and out of the ABS and the brake lines. Up here, he had the LP4s installed already. We just cleaned up some wires. Linkable was installed previously. Nice thing is he's running it straight, and you got the corners kicked out, so he gets a really good spread of wire hider up the windshield. And then when you go to the rack, he's got 6 S1s, 3 on each side. So we got a right scene, left scene. On the RTLS, we've got the chase function. This eventually will have running, brake, and reverse. It's all pre-wired for it. Tucked in nice. One day he's gonna put the hardcover on, so we're gonna add some Deutsch connectors in. We just kind of ran out of time today, but it's all pre-wired for that. As far as the inside goes, like I said, we stayed with the touch panel. We really like it. I mean, I try to put touch screens in everyone's car. Not every vehicle should you have one in there because they're a little more delicate, but honestly, like, you probably had it in this truck for, I don't know, a couple of years now, and it works great. So day one's done. We definitely have like a rock light version. We have a full day on rock lights that need to be done, but yeah, for right now, I think everything's functioning